Hello and welcome back to FiddleUP. I'm Emerald Ray, and today we're going to learn one of my favorite tunes of all time. I love this tune so much. This tune is such a trip. In fact, it's called Tripping Down the Stairs. That's exactly what it sounds like. So don't worry if you're a little scared of triplets or a little scared of all of these, broken thirds that we're going to do. Don't be scared. It's actually not that hard. It's one of those tunes that sounds a lot harder than it actually is, and that's the beauty of it. So we have this A part. That is the whole A part. We're just going to be doing variations and ending and kind of playing that 4 times. So let's dig right into this. This tune is in G major. And so we're going to be starting off on our B on the A string, and then going down to the 3rd finger on the D string, or your G here, and doing a nice big triplet. Now, if you don't know how to do a triplet yet, or you haven't gotten a good handle on how to do that, I would highly recommend checking out the triplet video in the ornamentation section. I have a whole video on how to do that triplet, and so how to get it nice and crispy. So let's start with G, B, G, 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 G. And again, this triplet, just for a quick overview, gonna be 2 little bows and then one big one. So I'm just going back and forth. I still have my G down, and I'm going up to the A string for a B and C and so. And often when you do a triplet like that, you have to do a little bit of a slur to get your bow turned around. Because I'm definitely going down here, so I have to slur up. Just do one little slur to kind of get out of where I've gotten. And now we're back in the right spot. So that's a B on the A string, down to a G, open D, down to the C natural on your 3rd finger on your G string, and then B on your G string. So that's B, C, D, C. So that whole phrase sounds like, or a bar sounds like this. Okay, so we have so far so that's all a little bit squirrely. Let's try it again. And luckily the next part is a little bit more sing-songy, so it's easier to remember. So we're starting on our B on our G string down at the bottom here. And that's just outlining a G major chord there. B, open G, B, D. And then we're gonna outline, so that's outlining a C major chord there. So that's an E on your D string, down to the C on your G string, back up to the E, and up to the G. And then we're gonna outline a D major chord here, getting all our 1, 4, 5 chord progression going. So starting on an F sharp. So that's F sharp down to the D, E, F sharp, and then so that whole phrase sounds like this. starting from the very top of the A part. This is what we have so far. Let's try that one more time. Excellent, very good. So now we have all of that again with a different ending. So that is what I like to do. So I'm going to warn you that these pickups are interchangeable. So we're basically going to be playing that we just learned 4 times. So I'll show you what I normally do, but sometimes I change it. So if I forget and do something else, don't worry, all of these pickups are interchangeable. And this happens a lot in fiddle music, as you may have noticed. The pickups that you see, those 2 little 8th notes before a phrase starts, you can decide what those are. So I feel like I really need to do a whole video on pickups. I'm going to put that on my list of things to do. So yeah, the pickups are really interchangeable, and so you really don't need to worry about them too much. You can absolutely change them all the time, and do change them all the time. That is showing your expertise in fiddle music. And you know, if you're playing in a session with somebody and your pickups are different than their pickups, it matters not even a small tiny bit. So they are one of those things. It's completely interchangeable and changeable in the moment all the time. So let's do, the first ending that I did was, and the next one will be, and then here's going back into the 3rd time through the tune, right? Or 3rd time through the A part. So I'll show you what that means. So I'll do the A part once so you can see where we're at. So that pickup is just C, A, C. And then I'm going back into the pickup again to repeat all of that. So now I'm going into the B part, so I actually need to change the pickup up there. So you can do whatever you want, but what I'm doing is, so I'm actually doing a big arpeggio, a G major arpeggio all the way up to the E string. So I'm doing a G on my D string, B on the A string, and then I'm hitting the G at the top, 2nd finger on the E string. And I'm playing that A because I'm heading up to the B, because this is going to start the B part now. So if you're cool with that A part, let's let's just do that last round of the A part so we can get this pickup going. All right, so now we're heading into the B part here. And this is going to make a lot more sense in a minute. This phrase is a 4-bar phrase. So I'm going to play the whole thing so you can see how it all works, and then we'll go through it slowly. So that is not as difficult as it sounds. So we're going to start off on a B on the A string, 4th finger on the E string. So this is kind of like the only part that might be a little bit confusing, and then the rest of it is actually really easy, and I'll show you why in a second. So starting on your 4th finger, B, and snapping down to a G, and then F sharp G. And then open E, back up to the G, E, G, and then down to your 3rd finger on the A string or your D, and back up to the open E. So this is the only part that's a little squirrely. It gets easier after this. One more time. One more time. And then continuing on. So that part is a little bit more normal. So I'm just going C, D, B, C, A, B. So see what's happening there? It's kind of settling into a nice little pattern that's a little bit normal. So I'm going 2, 3, 1, 2, open 1, and then going down to the 3 on my D string and A. So I'm going note up 1, down 2, up 1, down 2, up 1. So together, those two phrases sound like this. And then it gets really exciting because you're actually going to take that 2, 3, 1, 2, open 1 figure down to the next string. So exactly what you just did, but with a high 2. So starting on the F sharp on your D string. Try that again. And then you're going to go down to the G string and do the same thing. So those two phrases together sound like this. So that's hopping up to my D string and just getting ready for the next part. D, E, F sharp. Okay, together, this sounds like this. All right, let's try that together slowly. All right, one more time, a little bit faster. And now we're heading into the second half of the B part. And then you go back into that big cascading phrase again. So we really only have like a bar or two to learn after all that. So the next bar is, so that's just outlining a nice G major chord here. So we have a G, B, D, B, G. So that's a G on your D string, hop up to the A string, B, D. And then we'll go down to the A, B, C, A, B. And then we're just getting into this phrase that we already know here. So this little bar in between is. So the A, B, C, A, B, G on the D string, open D, and then down to the C on your G string, and then after that. Okay, so from the phrase 3 here. And again, that's a little bit squirrely, so let's do it a couple of times. Okay, so let's let's do the whole B part one time through here so you can see how this is all working together, because sometimes in chunks it doesn't make so much sense, and I think this whole part makes so much more sense together than it does apart. So let's start from the top of the B part here. Okay, so do you see how that works? Let's try all of that again, and at the end you want to make sure you're adding that pickup that skips. that skips across the B and the G and heading up to the B again. And then we can repeat and do the whole thing again. And then the last ending will be. So if you think we can do all that, let's do the whole B part twice with a repeat. There we go. That is the end of the tune. Woo! Oh my goodness, we made it. This is a big tune and it's a lot of fun. So let's start at the top. Let's do this whole tune. All right, let's try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go. That is Tripping Down the Stairs. And I hope nobody gets injured in learning this tune. There's no casualties. So obviously we're going to make this tune faster. There's not much time for anything besides double stops. There's lots of opportunity for double stops. So in the A part is going so kind of just really just trying to hit that open G as much as possible. But honestly, there really isn't much time for anything else. There's so much going on. I am playing around with the melody a little bit, like I was saying about the pickups. I'm using those pickups as an opportunity to vary the melody a little bit. So I would concentrate on that more than I would try to be adding trills and things like that. The meat and potatoes of this tune is definitely the B part, and I'm going to show you a really cool variation on the B part that I like to do all the time. And so you can actually start off you can do some things with the B part that are really fun. You can play it normal the first time. So that was, I was down, up, 1, 2. I'm kind of doing a 1 down and 3 up bowing pattern there. So that's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So fast it sounds like this. So it kind of goes da 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 da, kind of gives it this really nice syncopated rhythm there. Then the other version is like I played for a second there before. You can go full on staccato. And that's really fun to do, to just make your bows really short and attacky. And that's going to be much easier at the bottom of your bow. But you can do it down here. It just depends on what kind of tone you're going for. So you can definitely play around with some wild stuff with that. The point of it is not to sound nice. You're actually playing with some tone coloring there. So sounding gritty or wishy-washy is actually an asset there. And then my favorite thing to do is to actually add some triplets in here, if you can believe that. It sounds like this. So they're not really triplets. They sound like triplets, but they're really just some trills. And with the bowing that I'm doing, they sound like triplets. So, you know, kind of going for that, that kind of idea. So I'm just kind of doing a big slur. And then I'm continuing that idea down. So that's technically a trill there on my 3rd finger. And then I'm continuing that idea all the way down. So that's actually not that hard to do, and it adds so much. Again, I'll do that slow so you can see what's happening. And then after that, so I was just doing a little, you know, just to add a little something. Just kidding. You don't have to go all the way there, but if you wanted to, you know, just play around with some, you know, some double stops all over the place. want to add in. I'm in a silly mood, so I'm just going to keep adding ridiculous things. But absolutely feel free to add any kind of expression that you want to, and try some new things, and make this tune your own. So I hope you enjoy this tune as much as I do. I hope you enjoy tripping down the stairs with your fiddle and not in real life. Let's just knock on some wood right now, so you don't get any bad luck. And so I will see you in the next video.